Hello, Alanas. I hope that we are all well wherever we are. Yeah, so today I want us to do something very interesting. And of course, this is a paper that was done just the other week. This is a business data analytics, a very interesting paper that I've always advised us to always look at it keenly because it is always a very interesting paper that if at all we take it on a very serious note, you'll find that it is not only for exams purposes, but rather this is a concept that will always help us, of course, when doing things practically as well. So this is a paper that was attested December 2024, just the other day. I'm sharing this paper with us. I want us to handle some few questions. I mostly will be handling, of course, question number 21. So this is a paper that was attested in December, just the other week. I think it was on Friday. So these are what you're asked. And if at all, for those who had looked at our block model paper for BBA, I know wherever they are right now, they are just smiling, right? For those who had looked at our block model paper for BBA, wherever they are, I know they are just smiling. Yeah, I know, you know why I'm saying you're smiling, right? So this is a paper that was tested. Remember, like the first case that we were asked of common size financial statements. Question number 22, we are asked, of course, the concept of the term, that is IRR, NPV, and the ROE. Question 23 was all about the aspect of cash budget. Question number 24 was more to do with the aspect of cost of tax. And remember, we talked about this, right? Question number 25, what I can say, probably for those who sat for this paper, I can say it is only question number 25, which I know probably majority of students could be having a challenge on. Only question number 25. But question number 21 up to question number 24, if I told you had attended our classes and if I told you had gone through our model paper, I know wherever you are, you're just smiling. That I'm very sure of. So our task today, I want us, of course, to handle this part, question number 21. Question number 21 is all about common size financial statements, right? So let's go through this question together and see what you are expected, of course, to do and what you're supposed to advise this company. These are what you're told that Workquay Limited is a public entity which has grown in recent years by acquiring established business entities. And by the way, for those who are watching and probably you'd want to attend this session, let me share this link on the comment section so that if at all you want to attend the session whereby you can ask question directly, you can just ask, right? So this is what I'm doing. Let me share this link. Of course, for those who will be interested to join this class live, sharing this link with us so that those who are interested can join this session right now. And where you're having question, of course, you can always ask, or where you need a guide, you can always ask. So what I'm doing, check on the comment section. Check on the comment section. I've shared the Zoom link for this class, which is currently going live for BDA, or for anyone who is interested in understanding, of course, the whole bit of analytics. But then this concept is also ideal for those who are doing financial reporting. The concept of common size is also very ideal for those who are doing, of course, financial reporting. Very important, very, very important. So go to our task. We're told that we're having this company. Workquay Limited is a public entity which has grown in recent years by acquiring established business entities. The directors of Workquay Limited have identified two potential entities targeted for a takeover. The directors believe that the shareholders of the two target companies would be receptive to a takeover. So a prerequisite to the takeover decision, the directors have tasked a firm of consultants to carry out a cross-sectional analysis of the financial statements of the two potential target companies, which operate in the same industry sector. So you're told the financial statement of two entities as at 30 September 2024 are as follows. And of course, these are what you're given. We told that we have, of course, the financial statement for the two entities. These are, of course, the details that we are given at this point. So it will be important, of course, for us to note. Be important for us to note. So these are what you're given here. We're having revenue for Remi and Opino Limited. We have our statement of financial position as of 30th September for Remi and Opino Limited. So required here, the good examiner wanted us to prepare a common size statement of profit or loss for two entities for the year ended 30th September 24, as well as the common size. As well as the common size, talk about statement of financial position. So what we are being asked at this point is simple. A good examiner wants us to advise the directors of Waki Limited on the best company for takeover, right? So when you're given such a question, the first thing that you need to understand, of course, is for us to ask yourself, do you know what common size entails? And remember, of course, for those who are in class, I guided you about the common size, and this you're doing, of course, on a block revision. That was a BDA, right? So the concept, as I've mentioned, is also very important for those who are doing, of course, for those who are doing financial reporting. This concept is also very important for those who are doing, of course, financial reporting. So we are told common size. So it is important that at any given point in time, whenever you're dealing with common size, you should just understand that common size is simply statements prepared, of course, as a percentage of a common base, where you'll find that it is very easy to prepare a common size. And this is what I want us to do together. This is what I want us to do together. So we want to prepare a common size statement of profit and loss for the two entities for the year ended at 30th September 2024. See how this concept is easy. And you're going to agree with Mwalimu that honestly, this concept is easy. So we are starting with Remi. Let us start with Remi. So I'll be having this case here for the purpose of maybe showing the examiner that you know what you're doing. What you can do, you can just take your data at this point, and we have it just below there. I can see Dan and Mustafa, they have joined the class. Okay, great. So these are what you're doing. We want to prepare a common size. So what you're handling and identify the way Mwalimu is presenting the work. If at all you want to make the mark of the work of the marker very easy. So this is what you're handling here, okay? These are what you're handling at this point. These are what you're handling at this point. So a common size statement or income statement will suggest that I am supposed to represent my task as a percentage of a common base. And remember, we normally tend to talk of two types of common size. The first one, we normally refer to it as a vertical, and the other form of common size, we normally refer to it as horizontal common size. So when you are asked, of course, without maybe examiner specifying that you're dealing with horizontal, always prepare a vertical common size, whereby we are preparing our common size based on what? As particular base in our statement. Like for income statement, our base that you're going to use will be what? Will be our revenue. That is important to note. For income statement, the base to use will be our revenue. So this is how we're going to work it out. I'm going to prepare our common size. These are common size income statement for Remi. This is for Remi. This is what you're doing. Preparing common size income statement, of course, for Remi. So what you have or what will be required to do, I'll just take this data. And we say that our base will be what? Our revenue. So this is easy, understand this. We take the 87,500 being our revenue. Of course, at this point, what we're going to do, we're going to divide by the base because it is our income statement. So the base will just be the revenue. Then you do what? Enter. Remember, at this point, I'm expected to have these details in percentage. So we can do I'll just drag now all this at that point. And in this case, I'm going to have my percentage. And of course, you can now say like 2 decimal place, right? So that this case will be our common size income statement. Imagine as easy as that. Just present your data in form of percentage. And you need to understand that you have to pick a particular base. Like in our case for income statement, the base that you're dealing with, the base should be our revenue. And that is what you've dealt with. That is what you've picked. Okay? So after you're done with that, we go to Peppino, or rather Peppino. So in this case, the same procedure will apply. We want to prepare our common size. Common size, in this case, income statement. This time round, I want to do for what? I want to do for this company, Peppino. I want to do for Peppino. The same procedure will apply, whereby we pick a common base, and our common base in this case, or the particular base is what? Is our revenue. So I'll pick that one, of course, divide by my same revenue, which is 40,000. So that at the end of the day, I'll be having this, and I do what? I just drag, convert it to percentage. Let me have 2 decimal place. See, you have your common size. Imagine this is a first case that the good examiner wanted you to prepare. This is a case that the good examiner wanted you to prepare. Up to that point, you have your marks, 8 marks, just like that, without a lot of struggle. Right? Just like that, without a lot of struggle. So once you're done with that, of course, the other case would be, in this case, in the event that maybe they had asked us of the aspect of horizontal. If you are to, if I told you ask of horizontal, then we could be having a base year. We could be having a base year. And that's why you opted to go with vertical, because you weren't given the base year. And not unless the examiner specified, that is when you're going to use what? Horizontal. But ideally, you're supposed to use what? Vertical. So this concept, as I've said, as much as it is important for BBA students, but also for those who are doing financial reporting, is very important. Up to that point, probably, Dan, could you be having a question that you want to ask Mwalimu? Mustafa has not joined with audio. Mustafa, you can join with audio. I'm asking those who have joined, of course, live. Those who have joined live, those are the ones that I'm asking. Dan, any question?
No.
Great. Mustafa, you can join with audio. For those who are watching via YouTube, maybe just make sure that if at all you want to join the live session, there's a link that I've attached on the comment section. Just go in the comment section, join the class using the link that I've attached on the comment section. In that case, in this session live, and you can ask questions directly and engage Mwalimu. So the first case, we are done with statement of profit and loss. Let's go to, of course, income, or rather SAP. So going to our SAP, these are statement of financial position. The same case, just pick exactly the way our data is. I'll show you all these things are easy. Don't struggle. And imagine you're given 10 whole marks. The secret is, if I told you having the knowledge, then things will be very easy. So the same case, I'm going to separate these two. We have, of course, for we're going to separate at this point. We have it at that point, right? So when we are at our statement of financial position, how are we going to prepare our common size financial, or rather common size statement? The base in our SAP will always be the total assets. Because remember, one thing that you need to understand is that total assets will always be the same as total liabilities. So that's why you're seeing that the base here, or the base to use, will be your total assets. So the same procedure will apply, whereby we take, of course, number one, we take our asset, or each line item, we divide by the total asset, which is 33,600. So this is what you're doing. I'll show you how easy this concept is. Don't struggle that much, right? So once we have that, I'll just drag this all through. See? I'll just drag it all through. This is my percentage. You can have it into 2 decimal places. See? You can just drag it all through. So where, of course, I'm not having any item, I can remove that. Of course, where we don't have any items, we can just remove that. These are the titles. So you have the titles, of course. So you'll find that these are common size SAP. So these are common size statement of financial position. This is for REMI Limited. Imagine as easy as that. No struggle, no struggle. You don't need to struggle. So then, of course, I'm having this case at that point. So we're done with that part. I'm done with this case. We proceed to the next company, which is Popino Limited. So we have this case here. The same procedure will apply. I need to take now our line item. We divide by the total asset, which is 66,500. In this case, of course, I'll just have it there so that it should be the same format. I drag it all through. And once I'm through with that, I have it into percentage, then we have our data here. So I'm going to have, this is Pepino, or rather Popino, right? Popino. There we go. So, of course, the titles, I'm removing that where we're having the titles. And there you go. You have your common size. You have your common size, income statement, and common size SAP. I will be like, Mwalimu, is that really easy? Yes, so long as you have a concept. So long as you have a concept, is this easy? Is this easy? Imagine how many marks are you given if you're doing that, if you're doing that paper. See, 8 marks, you have 10 marks, 18 good marks. Then the most beautiful part here is that when you're asked to advise, you see? So look at this case. So we are done with the part A, part B. You've seen my presentation, whereby whenever I'm having my solution, I show what you're doing, right? So that at least you should ease that task of the examiner to know what you're doing. So part C of the question, you're asked to advise. So I'll come here and have this case. So you're asked to advise the directors of Pocky Limited on the best company for takeover. On the best company for takeover. So my good students, at any given point in time, whenever you want to advise the company, of course, it will always be based on various items. Number one, remember, we'll always be talking about, number one, we can always advise based on profitability. Number two, we can always, of course, advise based on the financial risk, or we can always advise based on liquidity. These are areas that you can always consider at any given point in time when you want to advise the company. Number one, you are saying you can always advise based on profitability. Number two, you can advise based on the financial risk. Number three, you can always advise based on liquidity. So let us analyze the case here and advise this company. So let's start by profitability. Of course, if it is a total profitability, I'm going to compare these profits. See, I want to advise based on our profitability. So comparing these two companies, REMI and Popino, you'll find that based on profitability, REMI is more okay. Because you'll find that based on the profitability, for REMI, we have 14.40%, whereas for Popino, we have 7.50%. So when it comes to profitability, then we can advise the company to invest or to take over REMI based on the profitability. You can see the profitability for REMI, we have 14.40, whereas for Popino, we have 7.50. So if I told you to advise based on profitability, then we go with what? We go with REMI. Yeah, we go with REMI. So these are areas that you can use to advise. Talk about maybe the aspect of risk. Maybe talk about, of course, the aspect of risk. So if I told you to talk about the risk, of course, in this case, you can go with the aspect to do with maybe these are the loans that you can go with. You can go with aspect of either consider the loans or maybe the liabilities that you're having, or maybe you can always consider anything, of course, that will trigger a component of risk in our farm. These are areas, of course, that you can always tend to consider. So, for example, like look at maybe one liability, which in this case, we had like lease liability. Just based on this item, you can see that only this item will let me or will allow me to select this company known as Remi. Because when it comes to risk, at this point, Remi doesn't have more risk compared to, of course, the aspect of compared to this other company, which is what? Which is Popino. Because you can see, like for this aspect of lease liability, and of course, you can compare that at this point, we have a risk here, which we don't have in Remi. So just based on this, you can also advise the company to go with what? Go with Remi Limited, because at that point, you don't have that financial risk, right? And so many other cases that you can advise the company. So that is what you are required to do. But what I want us to do, let us add spice on this question, because that was just basic what we were asked to do. What if we were asked to prepare maybe a presentation, visualization, because this is always what will always be required when it comes to matters to do with business data analytics. I want us to prepare visualization for these two companies, yeah, where I'll do for income statement, then you're going to do for Mwalimu for SAP. So I want us to do this visualization. So this is the data that we had. So I want us now to prepare a visual presentation of these two companies. So how will you go about it? Of course, we want to base it on, we are basing this with the common size that we have prepared. We are basing this with the common size that we have prepared. So just, of course, copy this one here, so that once I remove this, the other one will not be affected. So what we want to do, we want to prepare a visual presentation of this data. A visual presentation of this data. See? So what you can do, we just highlight our data, of course. These are, make sure that we have, say, like, we can turn this as our details. We are not asked for this, but we just gone away further and check, of course, what? Look at key details. So I'll highlight my data. Then you come to insert. Of course, we want to do what? To go to the recommended charts. So once I've clicked recommended charts, of course, all these are the charts that you can always be required to select. Yeah. You can just decide to, for me, I can go say with this company or rather that chart, so that my visual, this will be my visual presentation. Okay? This will be our visual presentation, graphical representation of our data. Yeah, now this is what you're terming it as analytics, right? So that as at the end of the day, once we have this, you can always go ahead and advise the company even further. So maybe I want to make it more appealing for the dashboard concept. So what you can do, I want us to add data labels. Yeah. So I know you're asking, Mwalimu, how will you add data labels? Of course, I taught you guys this, but I'm going to repeat it again. How will you add data labels? So this is easy. All you need to do, you come and click any of our graph, then you right click, then you come data labels. Then you add what? You add data labels. So the same case will happen with the other company. Come, right click, then you come add data labels. So that whenever you're doing for presentation, I can literally remove that And hula, this is our presentation. See, there our data is presented. So these are what, we are not asked of this, but we just gone away further and prepare the presentation of the data that you are, the data that you prepared in regard to the common size, right? So in this case, you can just have this as a common size statement, of course. You can have it as a common size, yeah? Common size. Income statement presentation, of course. La, see, our data is presented in that case. So you'll find that data analytics is always very interesting. And also, whenever you're looking at it on the angle of acquiring the knowledge, it is very, very interesting. It is very, very interesting. So we have that. That's it. You're done with question number 21. You have all your 20 marks. Yeah, you have all your 20 marks. There is question number 22, which I want us to do next. Then after that, of course, you can do question number 23, question number 24, and finally question number 25. Because you'll find that these people, I think it was very fair. And of course, if at all you had attended our classes, then things will be very easy. For those who have joined the session, probably I'd want a question. Dan, do you have any question in regard to what we've done so far?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Mustafa, at least you've unmuted. You have any question that you'd want to ask Mwalimu? Mustafa, do you have any question that you want to ask Mwalimu? And for those who want to join us, you can join us on the link that I've attached in the comment section below. There's a link that I've attached in the comment section below. You can just join us at that point, right? Yeah, so that is what, of course, we were required to do, my business up to that point. The next time, of course, we say that the next session, I want us to handle, of course, the aspect to do financial management. And for those who want to prepare for the exams, I know April is not that far, and of course, January just some weeks from now. So we should not put our gas down. So for those who normally wishes to maybe to start studying in advance, these are way out. These are way out, right? I want you guys to go to maybe on your browser. On your browser, you just go and search app.mdarasa.com. Just search app.mdarasa.com. Search app.mdarasa.com is a very interactive platform, which you can literally download this app on your PC to have it as an application. The easiest way, after you've gone to app.mdarasa.com, you see there's an icon here. Because mine already, it is installed on my PC, there's an icon here which will show you like an icon of computer and a download icon. So just click that icon and this app will download on your PC. So that in the event that you want to access any of the content, you don't need to go to your browser. You can just get it on your PC. You can just get it on your PC. So what you need to do, of course, if I told you are new students, you just come create account, fill in all the details that you want to fill. That is, of course, your name, number, all these details. Make sure that your password is a mixture of a combination of characters, which will include special character. So once you've created your account, just come and log in. Yeah, just come and log in here. Just come and log in, of course, after you've created your account. You can just come and log in. Yeah, you can just come and log in here. You can just come and log in. So that I want to show you how easy it would be for you to access, of course, this content of ours. And remember, like before the week ends, you find that you're going to access all the data for what was done last sitting, more so for business data analytics. So at this point, we have various courses. We have various courses: IFRS, Power BI, Excel, QuickBooks, tax training. We have CPA. So if I told you you're interested in CPA, you just go to CPA, then you start learning. So on start learning, we have all the courses for you. We have all the courses for you. Like we have say in this case, maybe you want coursework or maybe you want revision, you can select the mode that you want to pick, if at all it is coursework, or if at all it is what, if at all it is revision. So for coursework, in this case, what you'll find is that this is how our work is arranged. Let me just show you quickly here. Assuming you're doing, say, like financial reporting. If you click financial reporting, this is what you're going to get for this package. You're going to get class notes, the past papers. You're going to get the class notes. You're going to get the revision companion. Revision companion is literally Q&A, question and answers for the past papers. We have another segment, the live virtual recorded. So live virtual recorded, these are the classes that are conducted as the semester is proceeding, whereby you can see all these classes, whereby as the semester is proceeding, then the same recording of the class will be uploaded on the platform. In addition, we also have now the recorded version from topic 1 to the last topic, which you can access it at any given point and time. And this is how it will work. So for example, maybe you are studying topic number 5, which is consolidation. You just click at that point. After clicking on that point, what you're going to get, we have the videos, which you can get at that point. We have the notes, which you can get, of course, the notes relating to that specific subtopics. You've seen that our work is arranged subtopic-wise, okay? So in this case, you can study using the videos, you can study using the notes, so it is purely upon you. It is purely upon you. And this package currently, of course, for those who are preparing to do exams in April, it is not far. It is important that you start as soon as you can. It is important that you start as soon as you can. So these are what we have for you. I know you're seeing the package is indicating 4,000, but for those who are paying early, you can always reach us out and we'll advise accordingly, right? So today, I just wanted to guide you on the business data analytics of what we've done. And next session, I want us to handle, because we handled question number 21. Next time, I want us to handle question number 22. And when, in the event that you want to reach us, of course, our number, you can always reach us out, either on WhatsApp or call 0708-068-851. And if that is our number, you reach us out and we guide you accordingly. So I want us to meet in the next session where we are going to handle question number 22 of our business data analytics. So Dan, Mustafa, for those who have joined us in the event, if I told you having a question, you ask now. If I told you don't have a question, we can always hook up in our next segment, interact with us on our number, and you can, of course, guide you accordingly. So at that point, thank you so much.